So this is the solutions from last night's homework. So the first thing you were asked to do for question 1 was to calculate the volume of the shape. So here I have volume, and I know my formula for the volume is length by width by height. Okay, and in my first particular question, my length is 3, my width is 2, and my height is 2. So then when I multiply all of these together, I get 12 centimeters cubed. Remember, volume is always something to be cubed. Volume means how much can the shape actually hold inside it. So if you were to think of the lunchbox, and if you were to think, okay, how much food could I fit inside my lunchbox, that would be the volume. But if you were looking at the surface area of the lunchbox, you'd be just looking at outside of it. What is on the outside, how much space does it take up on the outside of the shape? Right, now what I have is question 2, I have the volume. In question 2, what you had to do was you had to find the volume of the second shape, which was another cuboid. So we need to write out our formulas every single time. So the formula for the volume of a cuboid is length by width by height. My length in this particular question is 3, my width is 5, and my height is 2 centimeters. So when I multiply all of those out together, I get 30 centimeters cubed. Now what I have is I have the volume of my third shape, so I still have the same formula because it's cuboid, so it's length by width by height. So my length in this question is 7, my width is 3, and my height is 3, so it's 7 by 3 by 3, which is 63 centimeters cubed. Guys, it does not matter which order you actually put these into your calculator in, you will still end up with the correct answer as long as you multiply the 3 numbers by one another. Right, what I have now is I have the surface area. So the surface area, I'm just looking for the outside of the shape, how much area it takes up. So if I was to take this book, my surface area would just be the outside here, top, bottom, the side here, this side, and the two tops and bottom sides. So this particular question, okay, so you have to remember these surface areas, they're dealing with rectangular shapes, and we know the opposite sides in a rectangle are equal, okay? So if I'm told that this is 3 centimeters, that also means that up here is 3 centimeters. If this is 2 centimeters, that means that over here is 2 centimeters, and it also means that over here is 2 centimeters. If my width is 2 centimeters, that means that my width up on this end is 2 centimeters as well, okay? Because in my shape here, okay, so if this was 3, that means that over here also has to be 3. If this is 2, that means that over here has to also be 2. And over here has to be 2, and over here has to be 2. So opposite sides in a rectangle are equal, and it's the exact same for our cuboids. So I'm going to get the area of the front first of all. So this is my front here, okay? So my area of a rectangle is length multiplied by width. So my length in this particular question is 3, and my width, okay, so it's going back, is 2 centimeters. So the area of the front is 6 centimeters. Right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the area of the top. Okay, so the area of the top is this particular. So if my length down here was 3, that still means that my length up here is 3. So then this is going to be 3, and my width is 2 centimeters. So it's going to be 3 by 2, which will give me 6 centimeters. Now I need to get the area of my side. Okay, so if my width here is 2 and my height is 2, my area of my side is going to be 2 multiplied by 2, and that's 4 centimeters. I've only found 1, 2, 3. But remember, I have a back and a front to all of these. Okay, so this side I'd have to get the area over here. The top I'd have to get the area bottom, but I know that if it's the 6 centimeters on the top or in the front, it's going to be 6 centimeters on the back. So it's 2 times 6. Okay, so remember, brackets mean to multiply. You can put in 2 multiplied by 6 instead if you'd like. So it's 2 times 6 plus 2 times 6 plus 2 times 4, and that gives me 32 centimeters squared. And that's it, fully completed. Then you had question part 2 of this particular question, and I have to get another surface area of this shape. Okay, so I have to get the area of this shape here, this rectangle, and this rectangle. So 3 separate rectangles, and then I need to multiply them by 2 because the front and the back is going to have the same surface area as well. So first of all, I'm going to get the area of the front. Okay, so I'm going to get the area of this particular shape here. Okay, so this is a rectangle, and it's just going to be 2 multiplied by 3 centimeters, and that gives me 6 centimeters squared. Remember, area is always something to be squared because it's centimeter multiplied by centimeter. Now I'm going to get the area of my side. Okay, right, so I'm going to get the area of my side here. Right, I know that this here is 5 centimeters. Okay, so that means up here also has to be 5 centimeters. I don't know, I'm not sure now. It doesn't tell me here, but it does give me enough information. I'm not sure what this is worth, and I need that to find out what is my area of this particular shape. if this height here is 2, that means that over here is also 2. So I can just put that this has to be 2 centimeters as well. And the area of this particular rectangle is going to be 5 multiplied by 2. And that's 10 centimeters to be squared. Then I need to get the area of my top. Okay, right, so if this here is 5, that means that up here also has to be 5. So I say that's 5 centimeters, and then if this here is 3, that means that here has to be 3 centimeters. So it's going to be 5 multiplied by 3, which gives me 15 centimeters to be squared. Right, I've only got the area of the front, the side and the top, but I need to get the area of the back, the other side and the bottom. Okay, so it's going to be 2 multiplied by 6 plus 2 multiplied by 10 plus 2 multiplied by 15. And that's equal to 62 centimeters squared. Part 3 of this question, I'm still asked to get the surface area again. So I need to get the area of my front, the area of my top and the area of my side. So I'm going to get the area of the front shape here. Okay, so it's a rectangle. So my rectangle, my area is equal to length multiplied by breadth. So what I have here, it's 7 multiplied by 3, which gives me 21 centimeters to be squared. Now I need to get the area of my side here. Okay, so my width is going back 3 and my height is 3. So it's going to be 3 multiplied by 3, which gives me 9 centimeters squared. Then I need to get the area of my top. Okay, so it's going to be, if that here is 7, that means that up here also has to be 7. Okay, and if this here is 3, that means that up here has to be 3. So it's going to be 7 by 3, which gives me 21 centimeters squared. So then it's going to be 2 times 21 plus 2 times 9 plus 2 times 21, and that entire surface area of this whole shape is going to be 102 centimeters squared. The next one then you had to do is you were asked to get the volume of the shape. Okay, so the volume is equal to length multiplied by width multiplied by height. Okay, even if you get confused between which is your length, which is your width and which is your height, as long as you multiply the 3 numbers together, you'll get the correct answer. So it's 18 by 8 by 16, and that gives me 2,304 centimeters cubed because we're dealing with volume. Right, I needed then to go on and get the surface area of that shape. So I need to get the area of this particular shape, this shape and this shape. Okay, so the area of the front is going to be 16 times 18, and that gives me 288 centimeters squared. Then I need to get the area of my top. If this is 18, that means that up here has to be 18 because opposite sides are equal. Okay, if this is 8 here, that means that over here has to be 8. So my top is going to be 18 times 8, and that's 144 centimeters squared. My area of my side then, okay, so if this is 8 and this is 16, okay, so my height is 16, then what I have to do is length multiplied by width, it's 8 by 16, which gives me 128 centimeters squared. Right, remember now, I've only got the area of this shape, and this shape, but I need to get twice it because I need to get the front, the back, and so on. So it's 2 times 228 plus 2 times 144 plus 2 times 128, which gives me 1,000 centimeters squared. Now, then I was asked to go on and find the volume of this part too. So my volume is equal to length by width by height. Okay, so I think everyone should be well able to write down the formula here. Right, my length here is 20 by 16 by 24, and that gives me 7,680 centimeters cubed. My surface area then, so I need to get the area of this shape and this shape. So my area of my front is going to be 20 by 24, which gives me 480 centimeters squared. My area of my side is going to be 16, okay, and then I need to figure out what is my height. My height is 24, so it's 384 centimeters squared. My area of my top is going to be 20, and so if this is 20, I need to find out what this is worth. If this is 16, that means up here also has to be 16, so it's going to be 320. So then I need to get twice it, so I need to, if I get the front, I need to get the back, so back here, so it's 2 times 480 plus 2 times 384 plus 2 times 320, and that gives me 2,368 centimeters squared altogether for that particular one. The next one then, I was asked to get the volume again, so my formula is length by width by height, so it's 10 by 12 by 3, which gives me 360 meters cubed. Then I was asked to go off and get my surface area. So my surface area is the area of the front, the side and the top. Okay, right, so if this here is 10, okay, so my rectangle, I need to find out, okay, what is my height here? If that's 3, the height is 3 there, the height must be 3 over here as well. So my area of my front is 10 multiplied by 3. And this time the units are in meters, so I say meters squared. Then I have my area of my side, okay, so this particular side here is going to be 12 by 3, and that gives me 36 meters squared. Then I need to get my area of my top. So if this is 10, that means that over here has to be 10, and if the length here is 12, that means that up here has to be 12. So it's going to be 10 multiplied by 12, and that gives me 120 meters squared. So it's going to be 2 times 30 plus 2 times 36 plus 2 times 120, and that gives me 372 meters squared. Then I was asked to get the surface area of this particular shape, okay, so I'm getting the area of this rectangle, and this rectangle. So the area of the front is going to be 10, okay. I need to find out what this is worth. If my height over here is 6, that means that my height here has to also be 6. So it's going to be 10 by 6, and it's 60 centimeters squared. My area of my side is going to be 6 by 4, so it's 24 centimeters squared. And the area of the top then is going to be 10 by 4, which gives me 40 centimeters. And I need to then continue on and get 2 times 60 plus 2 times 24 plus 2 times 40, and my whole surface area for that particular shape is 248 centimeters squared. Now I need to get the surface area of this particular shape here. So I need to get the area of the front, the side and the top. Okay, so it's 19 times 7, 4 times 7 for the side, and then the top is going to be 19 times 4. So then I get 2 times 133 plus 2 times 28 plus 2 times 76, and I get 474 centimeters squared. Alright, we're on to the last one, okay? And if you've watched the whole video from here, I want you to make sure that along with your homework that you send the word tomato, so that I know that you've fully watched the video and that you've completed the homework using the full video, okay? So the last question here I have is the front. So the front here I have is 9 by 15, okay? So I get 135 centimeters squared. So the side then is going to be 10 by 15, so it's 150 centimeters squared. My top, okay, so if this is 9 here, that has to be 9, and if my width here is 10, this means up here has to be 10, so it's going to be 9 by 10, and that gives me 90 centimeters squared. So then it's going to be 2 times 135 plus 2 times 150 plus 2 times 90, and that gives me 750 centimeters squared. And that's your homework fully done. So don't remember to send in the word tomato if you want me to give you full credit for completing the full homework by looking at the video as well.